Hello everybody, I'm here today with Grandmaster Ter-Sahakyan Samvel from Armenia. He is a very popular and strong Grandmaster from Armenia. Congratulations Grandmaster Samvel for today's victory. How do you feel?
Thanks. Of course, too much emotions. Yes, I'm feeling very good that I managed to win against such a strong and known player like Narayanan. Yes, everything is okay. Good.
So, before I get to the game, I would like to ask you, how does it feel playing on home ground? Like when you're in Armenia, do you feel any pressure?
Of course, there is some pressure because, let's say, I know almost all of them, and many kids are coming to follow my game. Of course, I feel some pressure, but okay, this is my work, my job, my profession, and I should try to be focused and play my chess and show my skills.
So do you actually play better under pressure, or are you?
Actually, almost always we are under some pressure. Maybe here in Armenia, I'm under a little bit more pressure, but I don't think it, let's say, something special, something different from, let's say, playing any other countries.
Right, right. Okay, so coming to the game today, you were with the black pieces, and till what point in the game was it your preparation in the Najdorf?
Honestly, I did not expect him playing this first move, even e4, because of course I checked almost all his games, but I expect d4. Yes, not e4 and Najdorf, and especially bishop e3 English attack. And of course he was, I assume he was well prepared, and he checked probably all of my games because he just blitzed out all his opening moves. Yes, still I had even I played earlier. I played with bishop e6 and h5, but once I understood that Narayanan is probably well prepared, I decided to go for bishop e7, then bishop e6 and h5, because usually when you play bishop e6 and h5, then you develop your bishop on g7 with g6, bishop g7. So I decided to play this bishop e7, h5, bishop e7, bishop e6, h5, and then of course principal way to play is to take on d5 with the knight and play bishop f5, which if I'm not mistaken was played by Giri against Grandelius in Veikanze. But recently, if I'm not mistaken, Giri with black pieces played against Levon in one of even maybe this Meltwater Invitational. So I decided to follow Giri, and I took on d5 with the bishop and went for knight bd7. But I did not expect Narayanan will be prepared even here. So he went for, let's say, long castle, and after queen c7 he immediately played c4. And already here probably I didn't know anything.
So you were out of preparation.
Yes, yes.
But you felt like Narayanan was still in his preparation?
Yes, yes, because he did not spend any seconds even.
Yes, I actually checked. For 1 hour, 14 moves had been played, and most of the time you had been thinking, and he had probably thought for 10 or 12 minutes for all those moves. So yeah, he's probably was in preparation. So you must be feeling so good after thinking on the board and coming out like this with a win. That must be feeling good. So the big moment, right, when Narayanan sacrifices bishop on h5. Were you expecting this?
Of course, when I played bishop e7, my idea is to play slowly bishop f8 and bishop g7, where, let's say, my king will be very, very safe with the bishop on g7. Of course, I saw bishop h5 sacrifice, but I did not expect, because, there is no forced lines where, let's say, he can just attack my king. He just sacrificed the pawn for only 2 pawns, and he got some good compensation. But honestly, I did not expect him to play this bishop h5.
Very aggressive move according to you. What do you think was going on in his mind? Like, what did you think made him play this move? Because you told me he thought for 20 minutes before he gave the sack. So, what did he see in the position you think that made him play that move?
Probably once I will reach with bishop to g7, then I'm more than okay. So he has two moves to do something, and his knight on a1 is stuck, and yes, that's why probably he went. When he took so much time, I already more or less understood that the move he's going to take on h5 and make things unclear. Of course, I checked when he was thinking. I checked once, even then I understood that okay, I have some moves and position is nothing forced there. And then again, after let's say 10 minutes, I started checking bishop h5 again. But once again, as I mentioned, I did not expect him taking on h5.
Wow, so you actually got into his head, and while he was calculating, you were calculating what he was calculating.
Yes, we can say.
That is so cool. Okay, so so the game was very, very complex after that sacrifice, right? He was trying to get a better position and develop his pieces. So were you nervous at any point? At what point in the game were you confident of a win?
Of course, during all the game I was nervous. I was confident when I took on d4 with the knight, and because I just saw all his possibilities and saw my responses after all against all of his options, and I was sure that I'm safe and I'm winning.
Perfect. And if you were to play with the white pieces after the sacrifice, do you think that there was any way for white to come back into the game?
Yes. After the game, we analyzed about 40 minutes together, and the conclusion was that after knight g6 move, which I played, bishop e3 was very strong, with the idea just to play bishop d4 to put bishop there, and okay, anyway I need the bishop f8 move. He just goes bishop d4, and now the threat is rook f3, rook h3. Mm-hmm. And always I have bishop g7 moves, but he just goes knight c2, and whenever I take on d4 he takes with the knight, and my king is too exposed. And all kind of let's say instead of bishop g7 I had knight e4, which Narayanan immediately found the refutation, rook f4, just killing move. Rook goes to h4, and also e4 is hanging, and knight f4 is not there because of queen h8 is a mate. Yes, after bishop e3, bishop d4, yes, eventually we found that maybe knight b3 is there, knight b3, rook c1, and yes, probably black is not bad, but I don't think black is let's say much better.
Much better. So it could have ended in a draw.
Yes.
Okay. So that was a very sharp game. Coming to your visits to India, you had visited India back in June of 2019, and you had played the Goa Grandmaster tournament where you were the champion. So I want to ask you, what was your impression of India when you visited?
Of course, I was there many times, and my impressions are just very good, because if not COVID, I would visit each year.
Each year?
Yes, each year, definitely. Yes, I like India. I have many friends, chess grandmasters from India.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm in good relationship probably with all of them.
And do you have trouble with the food there, or do you enjoy spicy food?
No, of course I enjoy. With Manuel we were there, and we enjoyed. I just want to remember dal.
Dal, yes.
Yes. We enjoyed. We when we came back to Armenia, we tried in Armenia also, because we have Indian restaurants. Yes, of course. Many chicken, like
chicken makhani.
Yes. We tried many things, and of course I enjoy the food. Even with Levon Aronian, many times we tried, and I really like Indian food.
Wow, that's amazing. So we are hoping that now once COVID restrictions are gone, we can see you back in India, and you can come back and play in our tournaments. So with that said, I don't want to take too much of your time. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the very best for the remaining tournament.
Thank you. Huge thanks.